Hello everyone, welcome back to Coders United. Today we're going to be discussing types and interfaces in TypeScript. So to get started, I'm going to head to my desktop and I'm going to create a React app, and I'm going to use a TypeScript template for my app. Next, I'll change directories into my app and I'll boot it up using npm start. From here, we'll go back to our code base, and I'm going to open the source file and go to the app.tsx file. I'm going to start by getting rid of this template code that was generated, and instead we'll just return some markup here. We'll just say hello world for our header. And now we can start to build our app. So I'm going to build a function, and we'll call this function greet. And this function will take in a parameter called greeting, and we will use the window alert to show that greeting to the end user. Okay, but as you can see, TypeScript's letting us know that right now it's set to any type. So to fix this, we can use something called a type annotation. And as you can see, it's just a colon followed by the name of the type we want associated with that variable. So from here, we can go ahead and add a button, and we will set up an on-click event for this button. And each time the button's clicked, we are going to run the greet function. And I will pass in a string, and we will say hello world. So now we can save our progress and head back to our browser. And when we click greet, we can see that it renders the greet for us. So if we come back and we were to try to change this from a string to say a number, we can see that TypeScript's let us know you can't do that because we have it set up to a string. So if I change it to number here, we can see that now it's no longer throwing that error. So now we have a hang of how type annotations work. Let's explore how implicit types work. So I use my type keyword and I set the name of the type to greeting, and I'm going to set the shape of the data. So in our case, it'll be an object with a name and message, and both of those will be string values. And then instead of number, I'm going to pass in my type. And now you can see I need to adjust my alert to use the values within my type object. So I'm going to say hello, and then I'm going to follow that up with the greeting name. And then finally, we will present the message. From here, we can see that we need to pass in those parameters here. So we will go ahead and say John is the name, and the message will be how are you? And now it's matching the shape of the data for our type. So we can go ahead and we can save our data here. And in our browser, we can see that it's outputting our message as we expect. So just to poke it, if we were to change this from a message to something like a number, we can see that it picks up that doesn't match the shape of the data for the type greeting, right? And so now it's reinforcing it how we want it to be. So knowing that, let's talk about interfaces. Now, interfaces using the keyword interface instead of type, and you do not use an equal sign. Instead, it's very much like a class, right? And so the main difference between interfaces and just the type word is that you can extend an interface just like a class. So as you can see, I created a date interface, which I'm going to extend into the greetings class. And so that will merge those two. So now you can see it says I'm missing a field because those two are merged and I don't have a date field passed in. So I can do that here by saying date, passing in a new date. Next, I can go ahead and save my progress and go from there. So we set up a greeting for the date, and then we can go back to our browser. And when we click the button, we can see it's presenting the date now. But if we were to go back and try to remove the date and change it out for a number, we can see that the interface picks up that that's not the correct shape, and it lets us know. And that's it. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.